I tell you what, maybe make a Bobby Buck show out of this.
Well, okay. I'll start like this. My name is Ehi Isibor. I am a college student at the California State University Northridge. I'm getting my graduate degree in mass communications. Shout out to Sarah. You know, she's a big part of this community that we're kind of exploring and understanding. But I was just talking to Bobby right now about basically how my project has transitioned a lot from just understanding how technology plays an important role in the homeless communities, but how this specific point in time is a very unique time that many of us won't even face another point like this in our lifetimes. And the coronavirus quarantine is playing, I believe the numbers today were 16 million. I was telling Bobby about how people are undergoing different levels of stress and problems that they've never faced before in their lives. And we're at a point in this country where it's becoming a national disaster. And people think about it, and you see on the news, and I've been looking at the news and trying to follow how this is going to play an important role into the homeless and unhoused community. And the news always stops at a specific point. They always mention how many are unemployed, but they never go past that and talk about all the problems that individuals will face when they are unemployed, and as well as how they became unemployed in the very beginning. And job security is a huge topic about this. And when you're talking about certain things specifically revolved around this, it's not like the person became unemployed in a matter of days. They probably had for about 30 days before this the thought or idea that they might lose their job. So they've been stressing about this with their families and loved ones for quite a while now. So they've been planning and trying to anticipate how to overcome this. And a large majority of the United States, they live on the poverty line. And when you live on the poverty line, a single instance such as a quarantine or losing your job and not being able to get a new job just as fast is a tragedy in the United States. And it puts you in a predicament where you have to start selling your valuables, start like limiting your food, not going to the doctor's office as much as you can because you can't afford to do so. And you have to take care of your loved ones, you have kids, and you have to start making sacrifices for yourself. And the second you can't pay rent and have to prioritize your health over rent or your children over your rent, that's the point where you become almost screwed by society in general. And becoming a homeless, people actually make arguments that, oh, people want to do this for fun. It's never that. You really don't have a choice. And especially in times like these where people were doing everything they can to provide for their families, and now a tragedy such as this, and people think like $1,200 a month is going to fix the problem. That is not going to fix the problem. It's a relief. It's not a solution. And people's rent, especially like, as you know, Los Angeles, it's not cheap out here. I can't even find a one-bedroom apartment for $1,200. So how am I going to pay for a house where I have children and other individuals to do this? And who knows how long it'll be till this thing ends. And when it does end, how long till I find a new job where I can get back on my feet, where I can find a new apartment, where if I'm not getting kicked out of my apartment by then, how am I going to pay the rent? Now I have to make an agreement with my landlord. I'm 4 months behind in rent. If you're paying, let's say you are paying $1,200 a month in rent, that's paying that back over a year, almost $5,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people I don't have $5,000 in my pocket right now. And I'm getting a master's degree in about a month and a half from now. So you put yourself in people's shoes and you try to understand the situation that you're in, I want to bring light to the situation and help people understand, saying, hey, this is a problem, and this isn't the problem now. The real problem is going to be 4 or 5 months from now when this whole thing ends.
Yep.
And I haven't heard a single thing about it yet, talking about how people are going to fix this problem for not just Skid Row, not just Los Angeles, 16 million Americans around the country. And that's a lot of people. That's more people that are being infected by this thing, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to call it a pandemic, you can call it a pandemic, but just know that this problem will go away. It's how they're going to fix this problem that's been going on since who knows how long, when it comes to people being homeless in the streets of Los Angeles and throughout the United States.
Yeah.
So I want to bring light to that. I want to understand what's going on because it's a very unique situation that not only us as just middle class and working class Americans, but for the homeless community, because this puts themselves in a very difficult position. Because if middle class Americans are losing their job and homeless people don't even have a job, how the hell are they supposed to get a job to better themselves, to get off of the streets, when they're competing with 16 other million Americans in the country who are trying to find a job as well now?
Man, I love your view and your points of how you hit on things like that, man. So, yeah, I can't wait for us to bring this together. You know, that's why I said this is a platform I'm giving to people to let them voice their own statements and issues and solutions about what's happening right now. You know, and I'm going to keep on saying this about the coronavirus. To me, it's its own revolution/evolution. And between both, people have to die, you know, because it's change. You know, coronavirus is purely change. And some people fear change, and some people dislike change and don't want to see change. But change has to happen. That's the split-second reality. It has to happen.
Let me ask you a question, Bobby. How afraid are you of this situation we are in right now in the United States?
Well, to tell you the truth, after living my lifestyle, I feel like I've been through spiritual boot camp and not the religion. And I don't trip on nothing. I don't fear nothing. I don't fear no person. But at the same time, I am human, have common sense, and I want to use common sense to try to prevent certain things. But like I say, people, what am I saying? Be prepared, not surprised. So the people, death is something that each and every one of us has to do.
It's inevitable, yeah.
Yeah, we can't stop it. So what I'm saying is people just need to concentrate on working solely on themselves, on their own inner relationship. Even whether they don't have a relationship with a God or a higher power or whatever. They just need how to understand to themselves how to get right. And like I say, after being homeless and living it, and like if something would happen to me right now, hey, I've been there and done that. I wouldn't like it, but hey, I'd be prepared to deal with what I got to deal with. But most people can't handle that. That's a true grit reality. And with this happening, America been in la-la land. They've been in la-la land watching everybody else go through reality. And they watch fake reality TV, which is scripted, but they call it reality. So it's all illusional and delusional type of messages getting crisscrossed around each other. So this is a true reality that has hit. And also with the conspiracy theories, I believe all of them had a little bit of truth within them, but we don't have no solid evidence or proof of what's really happening. If it is man-made, they know who did it. If it's not man-made, you know, only God, the superior being, the higher power knows. And everything that's happening, like I say, people be tripping off stuff, especially people that go to church. There were plagues back in the day. You know, people always talk about the end of time, you know, Jesus coming, all that. Nobody knows. This stuff happens. This stuff has been happening. The rumors of wars, it's been happening from the beginning of time. When the first war was supposed to be God and Satan. That was a war, and it's a continuing war. It never stopped. So that's why I said people act like they're surprised when bad or evil things happen. And that's a reality. I don't care how many times you go to church or how many times you pray, some bad things are going to happen. But also, it's all in wording. I don't really precisely call them bad. Like one of my other phrases, everything that happens bad ain't negative. Everything that happens negative ain't bad. It's merely an opportunity to exercise your mind and test your faith. Because when something so-called negative or so-called bad happens, that's an instance that changed the course of your life. That's all it is. But if you remain open-minded within that tragedy, it's something positive happening around it. You know, like a person can have a flat tire. Being mad, oh, I got a flat tire. But you never know, the person who's coming to fix that tire might have a piece to the puzzle that you've been needing. So in the midst of certain things happening that you disagree with, it could be happening if you're open-minded enough to receive a blessing in the midst of it.
Yeah, true. I mean, everything you're saying, like like I think what you said perfectly. Every single thing you hear has some bit of truth to it, you know. And when you look at the bigger picture of things, and you look at all the kind of the downfalls that have happened, and I like the way you said that it's evolution, because it really it's sad to say, but bad things have to happen for change to happen, right? And this kind of makes a perfect example of the stability within this country when it comes to the infrastructure and something like, people make the argument this isn't as bad as the flu, and you're like, you're right, but has the flu ever done this to the United States? So something about this is making something a lot more different, because as people, just generally, if we don't know something, we can't figure it out, it scares us. We don't know the true potential of something until the very end. It could be good, it could be bad, it doesn't matter. We still get frightened by it. And the fact that we can't figure this out at a certain time and a certain point in our thing, like in our lives like this, it scares us. But this, just as fast as it came, just as fast as it will go. The second the vaccine is created, it'll become the flu part 2. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like chicken pox. Like, hey, people get chicken pox still today, but no one really bats an eye. You know what I mean? It sucks, but at the same time, though, it is what it is. So I just want to get like a perspective on how other people, like, I love your view on things. You know what I mean? And I think we kind of share similar views. Why I love talking to you about it so much. Yeah. But I would love to just get other people's views on the current situation, because it's not just, you could have one view this week, but it can completely change next week. And the last time we talked about, like, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago almost, less than that probably, we were having the same conversation, but our conversation was not in depth as this, right? So as everything starts progressing and everything starts to continue to evolve, as you would say, you start going deeper and deeper into certain topics, and now you can go from just the virus in general. Now we're talking about employment rates, and now we're talking about the well-being of the United States. Now we're talking about a possible depression or even a recession happening in the near future, and how the country will overcome and get out of this. You know what I mean? It's just a conversations that I don't have answers to, but maybe 2 weeks from now we're having a conversation like this again, or even next week, even for another reason, it could be we could have the answers right in front of us again. So that's just kind of my goal that I want to explore as just a person, and try. And that's one thing that I'm looking out for anytime I hear a conversation about the coronavirus, or read on social media, or I read an article the other day about Los Angeles Times, and they were talking about the sports world and professional sports, and they were thinking that they talked about, they based most of their article about, like, White House officials reporting about certain things, like answering questions about when they think this will be over with, certain scientists, certain people that have done studies on different pandemics in the past. And a lot of people think this is not going to end until Thanksgiving. You can't have the American public and the mass of 16 million people not working till Thanksgiving. It's impossible. It's just not going to work like that. So now you have a conversation about that, and now the sports world is going to hurt, and now people are going to be quarantined in their houses for 7, 8, 9, 10 months. It's just like possibilities that could happen. It's scary, but no one fails to think about it because it's not there yet. So it's our job as people who are understanding the situation at an early time to raise these questions and kind of understand the public's process of how they think and how they understand this very unique time to live in, to be honest. So
yes, and that's why I wanted to create these Zoom check-ins, and which that idea kind of came from Miss Go to Work, because she said, so me and her, we bounce creative ideas off each other. We be on the phone 2, 3, 4 hours, and boom, boom, boom. And she said that, I went, wow, could I really come up with a title for doing what I'm doing? But we're gonna call them Zoom check-ins, where I just want to real people in, where we all communicate and in with each other. And then, like, you know, with this, what we're doing right now with this show, which just wasn't really, hey, y'all, this wasn't even for the bill show. I just said, sorry, Christian record. You know,
of course.
You know, but this is going to be a preview of what we're going to be doing this Tuesday at 7 p.m. Tuesday at 7 p.m., we're going to have the one and only Miss Silky D, first female hip hop DJ. and we're gonna have her on the show, and we're also gonna have Miss Go to Work, and we're gonna have my man right here, and we go bring this issues and solutions and possibilities and and uncertainties to everybody else, to y'all. And then we want y'all to be ready. And I'm gonna do it live on Facebook like I did the last show. And everything I'm doing, I'm learning on spot. I mean, people say, how you gonna do stuff you don't know what you're doing? I said, I learn as I go.
Exactly.
And learn in front of people. Make mistakes, I don't care. As long as it's getting out there to the people, to the public. And I wanna, I got a few more people I think I'm gonna bring on too, for Tuesday night. And who knows, maybe that might be the night I really do my shows or something like that, and I'll just kick it off. And then by having you on here, and with, like I'm glad how we met through David and how we see it, and make sure maybe David can get on. I want what's up, Sarah? We got to tag Sarah and just get Sarah to get on there.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a kind of like a domino effect of people that can have an open conversation about this, and it can lead to just multiple different like people that have different ideas about the current situation, and have people thinking at a different level, and just I just as much as you talk, I learn from you as much as you learn from me. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because what I learned in life, what people do, people argue to be right, but I love to debate to be enlightened. Because I might be passionate, that don't mean I'm accurate. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be, I can listen. Okay, because what's wrong with most people, we're afraid of evolving. See, we had to be forced to move on to the next levels at some time. If not, we stay in the comfort zone. And especially like with our community, we rather look good than try to lose our comfort zone to have an understanding on how to feel good.
Yeah.
Because we fake the funk by dressing nice and by acting like we're happy instead of learning how to become happy, how to get there, how to really make it happen, because we spend too much time trying to find somebody else to make us happy.
Yeah.
And that's going to be on a whole nother subject when I do my The Battle of the Sexes segment and stuff like that. I'm gonna get on that. When I do that, I'm gonna talk bad about women and men, but the bad point. but I'm gonna bring in the positives too, though.
Of course. Yeah, you need that healthy balance, Yeah,
we need a healthy balance though. But getting back on this though, so everybody, y'all get ready for Tuesday at 7 p.m. We're gonna have it going live on Facebook, and now we also go record it to be put out for later, because I'm also working with a Black-owned media group called UIN. We go get on Urban Information Network, and I'm gonna have my own station on there, and then also I'm working with another company, C Black Card, where I give you more information about that. But you can come into the company, with a loan to get in. You refer other people with a loan to get in, and there's no money out your pocket, but you can make money. You can make about $400 a pop out of referring people just to get in, to help each other make money. So, like what you were talking about earlier, there's a way to make something very positive come out of this. And my heart goes out to those who are passing and dying through this change too. And like I say, because it's a serious situation, and for us that make it through, it's just giving us another opportunity to get better, because doing this, the people who do make it gives you some time to think. But some people, their past thoughts comes to haunt them though. And so that's why we have like a lot of other things happening, like with the suicide calls arising and things during this time. But like I say, we want to do shows on that, because we just want to bring all people together. Anybody going through some hardship. Like I say, I used to be suicidal. I used to be on prescription drugs, mixing it with alcohol. And luckily I got too drunk to go commit suicide. I can use it as a joke now because I got too drunk to walk. That's why I'm still here. And also I fell 20 feet, crushed my knee, broke my leg, and all this stuff. And so I've been down for the count, near-death car wreck, and I mean, just a lot of things that happened to myself. So, people see, oh, he having fun, he doing video, he doing pictures, but everybody has a story.
There's a story behind everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, go ahead and give people a little bit more information about who you are and what we get ready, your project. Then let them know we're gonna be doing this on Tuesday night.
Of course, yeah. So on Tuesday night, I plan on being on the Bobby Buck Zoom meetings, and really, my main intention of my project is to understand how this is playing an effect on the homeless community, how the coronavirus is playing an effect on the homeless community. And I really would. It's not really a project where I want to interrogate you. I just really want to know the emotions and understand like the certain problems that people might not hear on a daily basis that they would face, because I feel like it's a huge part in the media that's being left out. And I don't think people are having an equal representation in the media of their stories. And I think by enlightening people of the real problems that people aren't going to face in the future, but have been facing the last like 15, 20 years of their life when they've been struggling to live in Los Angeles, is going to awaken a lot of people's wake a lot of people up and realize that this could be not just on Skid Row or throughout certain parts of Los Angeles, but this could be on a national, huge scale of we're looking at a lot of people losing their jobs that live in the poverty line that could potentially be screwed over. And there's not enough talk about those people that are going to be screwed over. So by people listening and tuning in and sharing those stories, it allows a baseline and allows a kind of understanding of hey, like I'm living through this right now, and if you think that's bad, just imagine what I have to go through when I'm the one that's really like shit out of luck, you know what I mean? And I have to be like, I don't understand why I'm not being talked about, and I don't understand why my voice isn't being heard. I've been yelling for years now, but how come it takes a whole pandemic for me to even be mentioned on the news? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I just really want to have the emotional aspect of this project and let people express themselves about the situation, and so they have a voice to be heard by people that have some type of political power, and they can hear these stories and make changes based on what they say.
Right on. Hey, I'm sure 100% straight down with that too. So, all right, y'all. Y'all get ready. I'm gonna get the promotions up and running and all that, and I want everybody to be a part of this. Everybody. I don't care where you at. I don't care if you're in Hawaii, New York, Detroit, Arkansas, Atlanta, ATL. No, I used to live in Riverdale, Georgia. What's up, Faith? So yeah, but now we're gonna bring everybody together and we're gonna talk about some seriousness. And if y'all ain't seen my last show, we gonna also crack y'all up too. You know, you gotta mix it up. We gotta mix it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, and there ain't no telling who's gonna be on this next show. Might have, because I can get up to 100 people on here now. But I also got my finger on that trigger to mute everybody at the same time too. Yeah. So, all right, y'all. But y'all get ready, and we'll be on here Tuesday, 7 p.m. Be ready. Peace. We out.